Hi everyone, my name's Anna Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In this episode we're going to be making an 8x8 card using one of my favourite products, which is Anna Griffin's Nifty Nested layers. The card base I'm working on is an 8x8 blank white base. If you ever get stuck or you need any, I've already designed some that are a downloadable kit. You purchase them from my website, I shall put a link at the bottom, and then that way you can make your own 8x8 cards and you won't be stuck. Details of all the products that I do use and any links that I can include will be down in the description box below this video. If you've got any questions, comments, please feel free to get in touch. I do answer everybody. So let's get on and make a card, because that's why we're all here. So this is my 8x8 card, and as always I'm just going to make sure that we've got a good sharp score along the side of the card. Now I've been asked why I do that, and I personally do it because I like to see a nice sharp fold, and also I think it's a nice professional finish when you've got a really sharp crease, and that's just my own view, so that's what I think. I've already cut a layer of paper for my front of my card, and I've rounded the corners, so I've added tape on the back of it already just to save us a little bit of time. So I'm just going to take the back of my tape away, and it will take me a moment or two. So I punched the corners with a corner punch just to give them that rounded effect, because I thought for this, you know, let's do something a little bit different. So I'm just going to try and get this on straight, looking through a camera lens to pop it on, and I think that looks okay. If it isn't, you'll have to forgive me. So that's our first layer. Now this project might take a few minutes for us to get through because there's quite a lot to fit in, but I wanted you to see it from start to finish. Now I've broken up a sheet of the Nifty layers in the silver, and it's the square scallop that I've broken up, and I've taken apart all the different layers, and I've half snipped where the like a tendril that holds on to each layer. I've snipped those just to make them a little bit neater, and it's your own personal preference if you want to take that little bit of time over doing that, or whether you're happy leaving them. I know some people leave them, but for me I just wanted to take it away. So I've put 3D foam on the back of this, and what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to place this on the front of our card like that. So that's our first layer. Now I'm just going to move this out of the way because we're going to do a little bit of paper folding. So what I've done for the next layer is I've cut some paper strips into 1.5 inch widths, and I've run them through my embossing machine and my die cutting machine in an embossing folder. And the embossing folder is for the box fold from Anna Griffin. It was in Paper Tricks 1, and it's a really nifty kit if you haven't already got it. You can do so much with it, and so many embossing techniques and different folding techniques. So I've chosen the box fold. So you simply take it through your folder, and then you literally start folding it, and this creates your box pleats like that. Now I'm only doing this one to show you how I've done it, because I know you like to see the techniques as well. So I'm going to just fast forward a little bit. I've done that on 4 strips, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these to the base of the next size down that was on the Nifty Layers kit. And I've added tape on the back of the box pleats, and I'm simply literally going to go around the edge of our frame, adding the box pleats like that. And I didn't want you would have been sat waiting forever for me to finish doing 4 of them. So now at least you've seen how I folded them and you've seen how they go on. I'm just going to move that little bit of tape out of the way, else I'll never get it peeled off. So let's just come off like that. Nope, it's not going to go, and we need to get rid of it because it'll be in the way if we don't. I don't know, all in the preparation. And there we go. So I'm just going to continue adding the pleats all around the edge, and then the last one is that, and that can go on like that. So what I've done is I've literally left the corners as they are, because I wasn't quite sure how it was going to look and how I would feel about it as they crossed over. Well, looking at that as it is now, I think it looked okay. I was quite happy with that. So I've put tape on it, on the back of all my box pleats, and I'm probably going to wish I hadn't, because as you know, I always have trouble with my tape, and this is a new tape and it's not quite, dare I say, as forgiving as the last one. So I might have to just skip to an alternative method here if I can't get the back of it off. And no, it's not going to go. Not to worry, what we'll do is we'll go to a wet glue and I'll add that around the edge so that we can stick it onto our card. And I'll just get that central. And I'm going to place this layer over the last layer. And I'm going to tuck that little bit of tape in that we've got there, like that, so that sits nicely, as you can see, on our layers. Now, I was saying about the corners, I actually made some corners because I didn't know how these were going to look, but I am quite happy with them. But all I did was on the end, I snipped them into a square shape, and they would be able to sit underneath just to give it that extra. Oh, I'll add them. She says, I'm changing my mind, you see, now. And now I've started adding them, I want to add them. And it just finishes off that corner and makes it look a little bit tidier. Like that. Just gives it that extra little bit of dimension and makes it look as though you've finished it off properly. So now I have finished it off properly. Okay, so now we can move on to our next layer. My next layer is the next smallest frame on the sheet, which is that one. So I'm going to add a little bit of tape on the back of it. In fact, I'm going to add wet glue for quickness. And I'm going to place that just onto the layer that I've already prepared, like that. Now I've already got 3D foam on the back of this, so I can just peel off the back of my foam, and this is going to sit in the centre of our previous layer. So all it is really is building up the layers, and for the smaller ones we've added an extra mat for them. So that's going to sit in the centre like that. And then we've also got the sentiment that's from the middle of the sheet, and this says best wishes today and always. And again, I've added foam on the back of this, and I've cut a layer to size that I'm going to put this on that matches everything else that we've used. But I've just popped a piece of ribbon around it, and our sentiment is going to sit just over the ribbon. The ribbon literally wraps round the side and is taped on the back. And we've got our 3D foam on the back, in the corners and in the centre. So I'll just peel the back of that off, and that's going to sit nicely over our last layer like that. Now, to finish the card off, what I've got is I've made a satin bow and I've also made a paper bow, and I've layered the two together, literally one on top of the other. I added the pearl before I added the paper bow onto the back of it, but it's really simple and an effective way to use your ribbon and your paper together to make it match and coordinate. So I've put 3D foam on the back of this because the back of the ribbon is the paper. So I'll just peel off the back, and I'm just literally going to place that at the top of our card, and the paper ribbon bits can go underneath the sentiment. Just want to check I've got it reasonably straight, and that looks okay to me. And that finishes our card off perfectly. Now, apart from my trouble with my tape, me not getting my border straight, but looking through the lens of a camera, it's very difficult to try and get everything straight. I will be able to straighten that up when I stop filming. So I'd like to really thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'd like to see you again another time. I don't always make a fluff of things, I promise. If you've got any comments or queries, please don't hesitate to ask. I love hearing from you. I love getting your messages, and I love, knowing what you think and maybe any questions that you've got. You can always find me on Facebook at Marie V, and I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.